Hey, what's going on, everybody? We are live. I am Adam. This is Open Late. And tonight I am opening up some Lego Dungeons and Dragons minifigures. I have had the set, here ready to be opened for a couple of weeks now. I just haven't had the time to open it. I haven't had the chance to sort of get into them, and I really wanted to do sort of a proper video on these. I think these are really fun. I don't do a lot of Lego on the channel, admittedly, but I really love Lego. Lego was probably my first like toy love. Lego was the first toy line that I got back into when I started getting back into toys about 10 years ago now. And I still buy Lego from time to time. I don't buy a ton of Lego, admittedly. I have found that my budget doesn't necessarily stretch as far as I would like it to. And so Lego is sort of one of those things that's gotten cut out a little bit. There's some amazing Lego sets coming out that I just don't have, the budget or the space for. But I have tons of Lego. I still love Lego. The Lego that I'm buying these days, I'll be totally honest, I'm buying like Lego Friends, I'm buying Lego Super Mario, I'm buying Lego Disney. I'm buying stuff that my kids are into, and that's more fun for me than getting the latest Star Wars set or the latest themed set or whatever that sort of speaks to me, because my kids are into Lego, and that's what I am into. By extension, if my kids are into it, that's what I'm into, because it's just really cool to be able to hang out with my kids and connect with them through toys. So my Lego budget hasn't, stretched quite as far as it used to, but these were kind of a no-brainer. And I was at a Walmart, and I didn't I'll be honest, I didn't intend to buy these. I was at a Walmart and I was like, you know what, maybe I'll pick up one or two. And there was a guy there that just sort of rocked up right at the same time, and he's like, oh, do you collect this line? And I was like, well, because they're in the boxes, and because I can't do a feel test, I don't know, I'll see. And he's like, oh, do you have the app? And I was like, what app? And he's like, do you have the minifig scan app? And I was like, no, is that the one that I should have? And he's like, yeah, check it out. And he had the app on his phone, and he was looking for like 2 figures, and I was looking for 12 figures, but I was like playing it cool. I was like, I'm kind of looking for like the druid and the tiefling. And he's like, oh, okay. And he's just like going through and scanning them, and he's like, oh, here's the tiefling, and here's this, and here's this. And I was like, oh man, I need that app. So while he was there, I was desperately trying to download the app. My phone wouldn't download it. My password wouldn't work. I was so frustrated. And then finally it did work, and I bought way too many. Like I said, I intended to buy like 1 or 2, and I think I grabbed 9. I thought, okay, I'll grab 4 or 5, but I kept scanning them and they were different, and I kept like just adding more to my basket, and I was like, well, here we are. And when I left the store and checked my receipt, I was like, well, that's more than I thought. But anyway, I now have all 12, I think. So I've opened 4. I have 8 more, and I used the minifig scan app to determine whether or not I had, all 12. And as I said, I believe that I do have all 12. Now, I know what you're thinking. What's the minifig scan app? Well, this is why I didn't do this video sooner, because I had to borrow my wife's phone to shoot a video on a phone of me using my phone. So here it is. This is the scan app. So you basically get this app, and then you scan the bottom of the box, and it shows you a picture of what's in there. And it is 100% cheating, but I can't afford to be buying multiples of figures that I don't necessarily need. And so and so I'm happy to use this cheat, and it sort of shows you, the last figure that you scanned, and then you can kind of have a little inventory of all the figures. Um and it's like, it's genius, because the last series of minifigures that I bought was in a bag, and as soon as they went to boxes, I was out. I don't have the patience for blind boxes, and so when I could do a field test, I was cool with it. And as soon as they took that away from me, I said, forget it. You suckers aren't getting any more of my money. Um, but anyway, let me say hello to the chat. Thanos Copter is here. Jeff Morris is here. And Josh Brown is here as well. And I'm reading the chat as you guys are going, but I'm sort of chatting myself too. Jeff Morris, I love Lego minifigures more than the Legos. I think Lego minifigures are really what kind of pushed me to action figures. And I'm right there with you. I love minifigures. There's just something so charming about the form and the size, and the sort of, for lack of a better word, like pop and swap or interchangeable parts, and whatever. I Minifigures are, I just love them. I was gifted by my wife some prints from some sort of Lego prints to go in my office, because originally, before it was full of action figures, it was full of Lego. And so I have like a schematic of like all the dimensions of a minifigure, and I have, the patent, basically they're the patent art from Lego minifigures, because I just love them that much. Thanos says, I don't buy Lego, but I thought these were awesome. They are awesome. And Thanos says, I thought that was cheating. It is absolutely cheating. And I genuinely don't care. I have no issue whatsoever cheating Lego out of my extra Lego money, because they're getting it anyway. I will say this. There are a bunch of them that actually come with a second head. So I'm just going to use this as a reference. So the Tiefling, they come with two heads. You can get there's a woman and a man, a lady and a man, and they both have alternate, facial expressions. And so I will probably go back and get I think there's 5 of them that have a second head, and I'll probably go back and get those at some point. But I don't need, doubles of the ones that don't have alternate heads. Jeff Moore says, planned on only buying a couple of figures and wound up getting all 12. Sounds right. That's that's Dungeons and Dragons minifigures. That's Street Fighter figures. That's Monster Force. That's that's a lot of things for me personally. Josh Brown says blind boxes are also cheating, so this is fair game. I agree. I feel like I just leveled the playing field. I don't think it's not as though I'm not buying them. I'm just not buying the ones that I don't want. Sam Rock is here as well. What's going on, Sam? Good to have you. Thanos says, I used the app too. Of course he did. Why wouldn't you? It's like it's a no-brainer. It's an absolute no-brainer. Okay, as I said, I already opened 4. I opened 4 of the ones that have alternate heads, because I thought by the time I did this video, I might actually have the duplicates to do the other heads. But I'm going to move them off to the side so that I have a little bit more room. I also sort of had a fun idea for this. I know that you're probably wondering, why is there a dice on a mat right here? Well, Let me explain. Because I know what is in all of these, and I did cheat, and I did sticky note them. This is number one. They're all numbered on the little sheet that you get. So you get one of these inside every box. So you get 1, 2, 3, 4 to 12. And I cheated, and I know which ones are which. So what I'm gonna do, instead of asking people which box should I open, because normally I'm sort of like, I got 2 figures. I'm like, oh, which of these figures should I open first? I'm gonna let the dice decide which one to open. In true Dungeons and Dragons fashion, I am going to let the dice make the decisions. And I have this little thing because if I roll the dice on the desk, it's really loud and annoying. But if I roll it on this, it's not very loud, and so it won't be as annoying. And as I said, I've numbered them, and so anyone that I haven't opened yet, I put the number on there in a little sticky note, which I thought was clever. But until I realized I had to put a little sticky note on them, and it doesn't look cool, and so it's kind of clumsy. But anyway, as I said, I've got 4 open, so there's 8 left. If I roll it and it's a number of one that I've already opened, then obviously I'll just roll again. Does that make sense? Sound like a good way to open these figures? I think it is. All right, let's get going. 11. I believe that figure should be over here somewhere. I believe it should. If it doesn't mean it is. All right, there it is. Number 11. Yeah, if you bought these, if you're collecting these Dungeons and Dragons minifigures, let me know which one's your favorite, because I have my favorite already. But I'm genuinely curious, which ones other people like, because I think when it comes to like Mythic Legions, which is sort of the closest approximation, I think, to what I'm sort of looking at right here, Dungeons and Dragons type stuff. I definitely lean towards the the heroes and the good guys, and I like the elves, and I like the good guys. And I'm not afraid to admit that. But I know that a lot of people tend to gravitate toward the bad guys. So let's see. Justin Mohan says, I wish Lego would make 3-inch versions of their Lego figures. Well, they did for a brief moment have the Technics figures, which were about 3 inches, give or take. All right, so I'm opening number 11, which is, of course, this guy here. I don't know these characters. I don't know Dungeons and Dragons. I will tell you right now, I will be a dungeon master for a bunch of children starting in October. I realized that I didn't take a look at the packaging. The packaging's quite nice. So you get, a call out to most of the figures, not all of them. 2, 4, 6, 8 of the figures on the front there, and none on the back. I don't know why they would sort of cut 4 of them out, but you get some of the Dungeons and Dragons iconography there. You get the ampersand, the dragon stylized ampersand. You get the dice. So pretty cool packaging. It's not that exciting, to be honest. But it is well done. I like it. The back's all legalese, entirely legalese. Anyway, I'll put that one up there. Number 11 is this guy. What I will do is I'll very quickly put them together and then sort of show them and chat. If you guys want to talk about any other toys or any other toy lines or anything like that, feel free to throw that in the chat there as well. I am more than happy to talk about other lines or other stuff, that's going on in the toy world, because I'm admittedly going to be somewhat distracted putting these guys together. This is probably going to be a pretty short video because I've put together so many minifigures that I'm not, there's no instructions for how to put this together. It's they all go together pretty much the exact same. And once you're used to how to put the capes and things on, it's an angry face with some printing on the back. No alternate face makes sense because he doesn't have hair. He doesn't have a helmet or anything like that. So it would be pretty weird if he had anything but printing on the back. There you go. He gets a couple effects as well. So he gets this sort of flame throwing effect. So a lot of the parts existed before. That's sort of the beauty of Lego, is that the parts exist, and then they just adapt and sort of print something new. The printing, I got to say, the printing on these figures is phenomenal. They're absolutely amazing. The level of detail. This guy is probably my favorite. It's a little druid halfling. Comes with a little bird. He comes with his little antler hood and a cape and a little staff. But just really, really fun. As I said, we are getting into Dungeons and Dragons very soon, and I'm probably gonna try to like create characters using these. So instead of using Dungeons Dragon miniatures, I'm probably gonna use these Lego minifigures as miniatures, because why not? Or at least in my mind, because why not? Okay, that's 11. Moving on, we got 12. So there's number 12. I think, as I said, I've sort of been out of the loop with minifigures recently, and I think that people have been opening the boxes in stores. Here, let me. There, that works. People have been like opening boxes in stores to sort of see who's in the box. So having the app to me kind of just makes practical sense. It sort of avoids the need for people to try to open a box in a store before they buy it, which is pretty lame, I think. But so she's got some sort of like giggle spell. I don't know. Maybe there's more to that. Maybe there's a reference that I don't get there. But that's pretty cool. She's got a cauldron as well. In the cauldron, you just put the flame in. It doesn't peg in at all. It just sort of sits in there, which is kind of cool. I like that. You get a laughing head. Let's see. You get a laughing head as well as a stern-faced head. I'm definitely going stern-faced. There's got to be a reference to this. If you're in the chat or if you're watching this on replay and you know what the reference is to this and then this facial expression, please let me know. I have no idea. But there you go. There's the witch. And I'm going to set this up like this. She's going to hold on to the book, spell book, presumably, and then I can put the cauldron right here. She is number 12, so she's gonna go over here. I'm gonna set these up in order. Like I said, they're numbered, so I'm gonna set them up in order. Weston says Tasha's hideous laughter. There you go. And I think when I scan that figure, it says Tasha the Witch or something like that, which I don't know who that is. So it's just one of her spells. Okay, so I guess she's a specific witch with hideous laughter as one of her spells. Very cool. I like that they're doing that. I like that they're sort of, they're specific with what they're doing. All right, next up, 11 we already had. One I've already. Oh, I didn't open one, but I rolled it off the thing. Shoot, it was one. Should I just open one? Nah, I'll just roll again. 12 I've already rolled. 8. Let's see. Have I done 8? No, I have not. There it is. 8. Now I gotta find 8 though. My goodness. There it is. The last one is 8. I feel as though just as a result of these minifigures, I'm probably going to end up looking up a lot of the characters like Tasha. Um, so in a weird way, I feel like this is very clever on the part of Dungeons and Dragons to actually get people to look up characters that they might not otherwise know about. Especially because they're named. What's weird is in the packaging. So on like the little sheet that you get, there's no names, but when I scan it in Minifig Scan, they actually have names. So there are names associated with these figures. So you get a smirking head, and then you get the sort of angry vampire style head, which is definitely going to be the head that I'm going to use for my figure. I can only imagine that this is some sort of vampire. What else would it be, right? Obviously. So he comes with a nice dark blue cape, and look, like I said, look at the printing on the arms, printing on the legs, full print on the chest. There's some metallic hits on there. Very, very nice looking figure. He comes with a rat with little red eyes. I don't know if you can see the red eyes or not, but and then he comes with a chalice. Presumably that'll get filled with blood. If vampires work the same way in Dungeons and Dragons as they do everywhere else. And he comes with a sword. So very, very cool. Oh, come on. Why can't I get this to fit in his hand? I feel like such a Lego amateur when I watch other people do Lego stuff. I'm like, oh, wow, they're really good at Legoing, and I'm really bad at it, despite how much I have. All right, he is number 8, so he's actually going to go right in here. Yes. This guy's actually number 5, so technically he'll go sort of over here somewhere. They're 2 and 3, so there's only going to be one more here, and then anyway, we'll get there when we get there. Let's roll the dice. 12. Why do I keep getting 12? 11. I'd be doing really well if I was actually playing Dungeons and Dragons right now. 6. Okay, 6. Do I have 6? No. Let's open 6. But before I open 6, let me just check in with the chat here. Weston says, I got to head to bed, but amazing set. I definitely want multiples of each. Yeah, I mean, yeah, this whole set is just nuts. I agree. These are... I really love minifigures, and I have got to say that I'm very partial to Star Wars minifigures, but these are awesome. These are really, really fun. There's like a very... I like how much diversity there is in this wave of minifigures. Just in terms of sculpts and parts and colors and all that stuff. I'm very, very excited about these. This one I'm really excited about. If you've ever seen any videos that I do, you know that I'm somewhat partial to anthropomorphized animals. So this is, of course, an eagle, and this guy is awesome. The wings look fantastic. This guy gets the sort of beast legs, so not your typical minifigure legs. They work really, really well for this. Not the I would say that this isn't the best of the printed torsos, but it's still really, really good. He comes with the sort of new bow and arrow style, which looks really good. I'm gonna try to put it in his hand, which we've now established I'm not very good at, apparently. Typically, I would put it in his hand like as though he could like draw it, but for the sake of for the sake of display, that doesn't look as good. So he also comes with what I imagine is meant to be a little wolf or coyote or something like that. In Lego terms, this is just a dog. This is just an adorable little dog that they've done multiple times. But for Dungeons and Dragons, I feel like it's more. I don't think it's just a little cute little puppy or something like that. I think it's meant to be a wolf, but I don't know that they have like a wolf. A little wolf in this scale. Now, just to sort of give you an idea of scale with Lego, of course, nothing is accurate. There's a dog and there's a rat. So either that dog is tiny and that rat is huge, or there's they're fudging scale a little bit. That rat could be huge. I mean, it is Dungeons and Dragons. That could be some sort of like giant rat creature, but I don't know. I don't think that's what they're necessarily going for there. So Jeff Moore says Star Wars minifigures are great. Sometimes I buy Star Wars Lego sets just to get the minifigures. Full disclosure, Jeff, so do I. No chewing. What's going on? I literally was like setting up for this video while I was watching the latest Toy Daddies episode. And if you guys haven't seen it, go check it out. Toy Daddies had David Igo from the Monstores Kickstarter on, and he was awesome. Such a good guest. And that was the second time that they've had him on. And he might be a bigger fan of Laserman than I am. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, shame on you. You should be watching Toy Daddies. But No Chewing says, I just got a 6-pack of these. I hope you get 6 different, but if you don't, you're still going to get 6 awesome figures because they're really, really well done and really, really fun. If you need more, let me know. I'll try to find the other ones that you're missing. All right, so I rolled a 7. Let's see. That's 1. Maybe I should put these in numerical order so they're easy. That's 7 there. That's 10. That's 4. That's 1. And as I said, I'm rolling the dice, and the dice is telling me which one to open. They are, of course, all numbered. So I am opening 7, which should be this Mind Flayer character here. Because I cheated and used the app, it is, in fact, the Mind Slayer. Okay, here's a question for Lego folks. When you build a set, when you sort of set up, figures and what have you, are you at all aware or conscious of the direction of the Lego icon that is or the Lego sort of that is stamped into every Lego brick that exists? I haven't been paying as close attention to these bases, but typically I will align every piece. When I build a Lego set, it takes me a very long time because I actually align whenever possible. Now, it's not always possible. Some bricks are directional, and you can't really overcome that. But whenever possible, I will align the bricks so that so that that word font is going in the same direction. This little brain dude is a really, really cool piece. It's painted really well. Lego's paint apps are amazing. And these are certainly no exception. Let's get a little tail, there. Again, I don't know these characters, but figure wise, they are phenomenal. These things are awesome. I'm very, very excited about this line. Number one. I'm moving through these pretty quickly. As I said, it's probably not going to be a long video. I'm not trying to do a long video. I'm just trying to get these open so I can play with these. This is another one that comes with an alternate head. So I saved one that comes with an alternate head just so that I could show you guys. When you get this, when you get the one of these, this line, for many of the characters, you will get your choice. You will get a male and female, or a woman and a man. And a lot of them also have alternate facial expressions. So this one's not showing up very well, but yeah. So you get options, which is cool. I like that. This one I'm gonna put the sort of smirking, smiling face on. And what I've gone with for the first set, before I get the alternates, what I've gone with is the head that's on the figure in the picture. So when I get the second one, for example, the barbarian dwarf, I'll put the male head on. For the sort of warrior elf, I'll put the female head on. For the tiefling, I'll put the male head on, so on and so forth. I don't have to go. I don't have to go through all of them. I'm not sure why I was going through all of them, explaining them. But now, what is interesting is that this particular hairpiece, to me, seems like it would suit a woman a little bit better than a man. But who am I to judge? I might find an alternate headpiece or hairpiece for the alternate head. And this character comes with a torch and an axe, which are pretty appropriate, I would say, for a dwarf. Pretty on brand. And again, you like arm printing, great torso printing. You get this sort of furry collar piece, but printed on the back as well. You get a horn. This is number one, so she's going to go right over here. I've only got 2 left, but I've been going for 35 minutes, so I'm getting there anyway. Jeff Morrison, I've never looked at the Lego stamps before. Well, I've got bad news for you. If you ever build a Lego set again, you're not going to be able to not look at them. So forgive me for that, but that's life, buddy. Okay, so I've got 4 and 10 left. Let's see if I can roll a 4 or a 10. Nope, just a 12. Just a 6. There's a 10. I am not going to roll for the last one. I'll just open this one, and then I will just open the last one. Otherwise, we could be here all night. And as much as I'm sure you guys would like that, I got to go to sleep at some point. Oh, that's cool. Oh wait, this one actually comes with like a base. And I gotta get the logos aligned correctly. Okay, so I don't know this character at all, but I think she's meant to be like some sort of god or sort of godly thing. I don't know, but she floats, so I guess the effect to sort of create the look is that there's a clear piece underneath, which is pretty cool. I like that. But this cape is really really cool. So it's actually cut. So there's four sort of pieces there. Very very cool. I don't think I've ever seen that in a Lego minifigure. Which is not to say it doesn't exist. It just means I've never seen it. Oh, and that's a mask. Okay. So this is a very very cool piece, but it is a mask, and it's actually done in like softer plastic, more like rubber, which is very very cool. Man, that's a cool figure. Like just objectively, as somebody that doesn't know who this character is, but they still okay. So it's got a cape, right? You can't see the back, but they still do full print on the back, and there's like metallic. There's a metallic finish to that there, so that it kind of picks it up there. In different light, you don't necessarily see it, but man, beautiful, just beautiful printing, beautiful design, beautifully done figures, and yeah, very, very nice. I'm not sure, and it doesn't show me on any of the instructions. I don't know why it's got this piece here, but I'm gonna put this piece on this piece and assume that they're meant to be together, put it in hand, because that's how it shows it in the picture. Darn it. I don't know who this is. I don't know what this character is, but that is what it looks like in the picture, so I'm going with that. She fits right in here. And I've got one left. I've got one left, and as I said, I'm not going to roll the dice. I'm just going to make space for the character and try to get them sort of all on screen equally. All right, last but not least. Now, in an interesting sort of twist of fate, and I think this is very this is fantastic. This is perfect. This is very serendipitous. You don't have to believe me because this is going to sound crazy. But when going all the way back to the beginning of tonight's video, when I said that I was in Walmart and there was a very, very gracious and kind collector who showed me the app and said he was looking for one last character. The one last character that he was looking for was the one that I'm opening now. So that's pretty cool. He's never going to see this video, and I'll probably never see him again. But he was very very kind and helped me out and sort of guided me, helped me find some of these figures. But this is the Dragonborn Paladin. So you get a cool dragon head, and it's got printed, metallic and sort of face printed on there. There's so much stuff printed on here. The legs are printed, the torso's printed, the arms are printed, the sides of the legs are printed. So there's like chainmail printed on there. I don't even know if you can see it or not, but this is absolutely fantastic. This is a great figure. And they print the whole torso, they print the whole back. He's got a little flask, a vial of, some concoction there. But then he gets armor, and the armor is printed on the front. It's not printed on the back. But that's going to cover up the printing, which is sad because, as I said, it's very, very nice printing. But but yeah, going up, I think Lego's sort of going above and beyond with this wave, because they are putting printing where you're never ever going to see it, which is just they got to pay for it, so it's doesn't seem like it would make that much sense. But let's see here, how's this plug in? What is that? Oh, I was trying to figure out what these were. There's these tiny little sort of gold pieces. Those are the dragon's horns, of course. Those plug into the back of his head, which is pretty clever way to get those on there. All right, and there we go. That is the set. That is all 12 of the Dungeons and Dragons Lego minifigs. They look fantastic. I'm very, very happy to have a full set. I'm very, very excited to come up with characters that sort of go along with these, or do a little bit of research and figure out who these characters are. It's been an absolute pleasure having you guys hang out, and as I always say, it's way more fun to open toys with friends. So thank you guys for hanging out. Until next time, bye bye.